I'm now going to talk about why you might want to use it in research, apart from it just being endlessly fascinating and browsable, I think. And one reason you might want to use the historical thesaurus is to look at what synonyms were available at a given time for a particular concept, which can help shed light on why a writer made a particular lexical choice, for example. And I'll just show this using the example of milk-livered. So I'm going to go to milk-livered in the OED. So we're at this word milk-livered, meaning cowardly, and we can see that this was first used in King Lear. And you might wonder, well, what other concepts, what other words were available for this concept? What other words could Shakespeare have used instead? So we'll go to the thesaurus category, which is the adjective category within cowardice. And you can see all these words meaning cowardly arranged chronologically. So I'll kind of start scrolling down towards the early modern English period. And I can see that here we have white-livered, which was already in use in Shakespeare's time. It was first used in 1546. So I'm going to click on white-livered to go to the entry for white-livered. You can see there it is, with the meaning cowardly, first used in 1546. I'm going to open the etymology. And the etymology explains that this word is based on the former popular belief that a light-coloured liver was considered deficient in bile or choler and hence lacking in vigour, spirit or courage. I'll go back to the thesaurus category now. Again, back down to that part. So we can see that white-livered was already in use, and what it was based on. There's other similar words like liver-hearted, white-hearted, milky. So we can see that Shakespeare sort of took these concepts and used them to create the semantically rich term milk-livered, and not long around the same time in Macbeth first used the word lily-livered as well. The historical thesaurus is also a really rich resource for exploring patterns within semantic fields. So you can look at what types of words have been used to express a particular concept, in what periods have there been lots of coinages for that concept, and so on. And there's lots been written on this, in terms of many different semantic fields. So I won't say very much here, but just to give an example, within this cowardice section, we can already see just by skimming through it that there's lots of words for cowardice that have been related to lack of heart or weakness of heart, so heartless, faint-hearted, unhearty, and so on, all based on that sort of older notion of the heart as the seat of courage. Further down, lots of animal metaphors, especially chickens and hens have been regarded as cowardly. So you could explore a lot there. Or, for example, going back to the inferior writer category that we looked at earlier. Looking at this category, we can see that lots of the words that have been used to mean inferior writer are based on the idea of sort of physically spoiling the paper blurrer, paper stainer, squitter book, and so on, and then by extension producing inferior writing. And another thing of interest here is that a lot of these words were coined in the early modern periods. Seems to have been a very well lexicalized semantic field in early modern English, when there was a lot of interest in elegance of style or inelegance of style. Another reason for using the historical thesaurus is to find out what earlier words were available for a particular concept. And I'll look at this with reference to restaurants. So I'm just going to go to restaurants in the OED. So we're in the OED entry for restaurants, and we can see that it was first used in English in 1806. And so we might wonder, well, what were public eating houses called before that? So we can click on the thesaurus link, go to eating house or restaurant, and we can see that there were lots of words available before restaurant was borrowed. So eating house, feast house, cook shop, cook house, and so on. And then a little bit before restaurant, we have restaurateur and restaurateur, also borrowed from or models after French from that same sense of restore. So this kind of information can help prevent anachronisms in historical fiction. So say you were writing a novel set in Britain in the 17th century, for example, you might not want to have your characters talking about going to restaurants, but you could make them go to a cook shop instead. And it can help with searching historical texts. So if you're interested in early eating establishments, you have a whole set of terms here to use in searches, and you could go to related categories, so cafe or tea room, or you could look at tavern or public house, which sits within drink, and have a set of terms to help you with your searches.